What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another stream. It's the Gameweek 13 deadline stream, ladies and gentlemen. Hope everything is going well on this Friday night. It is 8:15 for the benefit of those who are going to be watching this on the 29th of November. So yeah, it's just 15 minutes before it's the Gameweek 13 deadline. So I hope that every single one of you are doing very well. And yeah, we can, as I'm hoping that everyone can see the screen. I'm audible. And yes, all is going well, ladies and gentlemen. So yes, game week 12 was actually good for me. Got 73 points with a few players coming big for me. Dean Henderson, I'm happy with the 7 points. Although Crystal Palace conceded 2 goals, but he did come up with a penalty save. So I can't say it's anything other than being lucky with that. You cannot predict when goalkeepers are gonna save penalties. Let alone when they're gonna get big goals. So I'm just happy with that. He's, as you guys would know by now, he's not my favorite pick this season, but it is what it is. In defense, I have Mikalenko with 6 points. Came in with a clean sheet as well. That's 2 clean sheets in a row for me. For Mikalenko, actually, he kept 1 in a 0-0 against West Ham and 1 again against Brentford. So I'll take that. But his fixtures are looking bad now, so I'll be looking to selling him or not playing him any much after game week 14, actually. But yeah, I'm happy with that. He's actually 4.3, so I didn't expect much from him. For him to get 2 clean sheets in a row, it's big up to him. Gabriel, yes, I've kept him since I've bought him. I think in game week 5 or 6, because I had Ben White. As I've said, I like the Arsenal defense. I actually think they are the best in the league in terms of clean sheets, and Gabriel is their best defender in terms of FPL because he, as we saw the other day, where he got a goal actually against Sporting in the Champions League. So he's a very big threat. I'm happy that I have Gabriel. He's actually flagged, as you can all see, but we know how Mikel Arteta moves. He never tells us. Even today in the press conference, he did mention that. What's his name? Give me a second. I can see that y'all cannot see the screen that I'm supposed to be sharing, actually. Give me a second. Hopefully this will come good now. Yes, perfect. I'll just then zoom in my screen so that y'all can see as well. Okay, even better, right? Dean Henderson, yes, with the 7-pointer. Mikalenko 6. I've actually went through them. I was just not sharing my screen. Sorry for that. Gabriel Mangales, I like him as a pick. I love Arsenal fixtures. I've always said that after the Chelsea game, they have the best fixtures in a long term because, as you can see, it's a sea of green. Of course, no fixtures are played on paper, but you'd expect that Arsenal will get a fair few clean sheets amongst these fixtures, as well as score a handful of goals or so. So I like Gabriel. Lewis Hall was actually disappointing. I went into the Monday night fixture, Newcastle versus West Ham, with 2 players. I was very optimistic that I would at least get 10 points, I bet Isak to score at least, or Hall to get something in that. But yeah, it was those classic FPL ones where you bring in a player for Monday night, hoping that other managers would have had all their players have played, and you at least have 2. Then I got 3 points amongst them. Very disappointing by Newcastle. But we move on. Midfield, that's where majority of my points came from two people actually. Bukayo Saka and Mo Salah both coming in with 13 points. I think, yeah, Salah got a brace, but he got a yellow card for taking off his shirt, and he didn't get the full complement of bonus points. He only got two. So that's why he got 13 points. But I'm so happy with Salah because I brought him in for Haaland, and I was hesitant, if I'm being fair. I did not want to make that transfer, but I just saw that I'm losing rank because I started well actually. Then, yeah, I'm glad I brought him in actually instead of Haaland. I still think Haaland is massively unlucky. Or if you own Haaland, I don't understand how he's only just got two goals in the past 6 games. But yeah, his XG, he's had the highest XG, I think, around about 6.3. And Salah is like 5.4. That's in the past 6 games. And Salah has outperformed Haaland by 40 FPL points in those 6 games. It's just incredible, you know. Yeah, it's variance, guys. But yeah, if you have Haaland now, if you're gonna play him against Liverpool, I think you keep long term. If you have Haaland with Salah, then I think I can keep Haaland. But if you don't have Salah and you have Haaland, the only way to get Salah, I think you can sell Haaland. So yeah, that's just the basic essence of what I'm trying to say. If you have Salah and Haaland, okay, you can keep them. But if you have to choose between the two, I think for now it's Salah. Maybe it's outcome bias, you know, recency bias. But yeah, they playing each other. You never know. Then Rogers disappointing too. Mbumo as well, who I'll be talking about in the future. In looking ahead of the next game week, I think I'll be selling him soon. Then Cole Palmer, yeah, 2 points. It could have been more, as we've seen that Madueke blocked his, yeah, from 3 yards. Palmer had an open goal, and yeah, Noni Madueke found a way to stop it. So there's nothing we can do about that. Then in striking force or forwards, I have Isak with 2 points, very disappointing. I brought him in for Haaland. I could have easily brought Matthias Cunha, guys, who's just sensational at the moment. Everything he touches, it's goals. His XG or data is not that great, right? But he's scoring great goals. Some people, it just reminds me of Papi Cisse back in the day. Like sometimes players go through that vein of form where everything they touch is gold, you know. So I think he's at that form. It's a regret. Obviously, I could easily have bought Cunha. Not I couldn't have because I didn't have money in the bank, but I knew that Cunha was the best choice. So if you have the money, guys, I think Matthias Cunha is the guy instead of Strand Larsen, who actually came in with an assist for me because Kai Havertz was benched and didn't come in. So yeah, that was it, guys. I got a healthy green arrow. I was 1.5 million getting into the game week. I'm back into the top million. So yeah, onwards and upwards. I haven't played any of my chips. I'm happy about that. Looking to be playing my wild card at the end of the year. So hopefully the plans go according. Yeah, we are just 7 minutes away from the deadline, so I'll quickly go through the team shaping up for Game Week 13. This is the first time I've made an early transfer actually, because normally I've said I am a manager who actually makes early transfers this season, but not this season, seasons gone by. But I've told myself that this season I want to be patient, you know. I want the game to unfold before my very eyes so that decisions can be much easier for me. But yeah, I could not resist bringing in João Pedro on Saturday night after his brace. So he came straight into the team for Kai Havertz. It's a bit of a regret, you know. I could have easily sold Strand Lesson, but I told myself that the reason why I sold Havertz is not because I don't think it's a good pick, but like for 8 million, there's budget forwards who are performing. Matthias Cunha, right? So I brought him for Kai Havertz. This leaves me with 2.7 in the bank. I can easily just swallow my pride, just like I did last week, and bringing in Salah and actually sell Strand Larsen and bring in Cunha. But is that a wise decision to make for -4? I don't think that's worth -4. So I will delay the transfer to next week or the week after. I actually want Cunha to be Strand Larsen. I have the money to do it. Maybe I should do it, but I don't think it's worth. You just never know. What if Strand Larsen gets the goals tomorrow? But I think Cunha is the one to have. Yeah, I think I've said enough about that. So let me go through my team quickly. 5 minutes before deadline, Dean Henderson in goal against Newcastle. Gabriel, he will play. I have no doubt. When Arsenal players are doubts, Mikel Arteta will never help us, but we know they'll play. Murillo, this is his last good fixture. Ipswich at home. Van der Berg, I don't expect much, but I don't have much defenders to play, so he's at home to Leicester. Hopefully, he can come up with something. My midfield four of Saka, Palmer, Mbumo, and Mo Salah captain. Then my forward line of Strand Larsen, João Pedro, and Isak. I think this is a very good team. If I had a few free transfers, I would actually be bringing in Cunha for Strand Larsen. Yeah, that's the one transfer I wish I could make, but I'm never making that for -4, as I've mentioned. So yeah. Then Mbumo, next week, I am looking to be bringing Odegaard. That's why I sold Kai Havertz. I was thinking already, Odegaard is more nailed. I know Havertz had played every single minute before the previous game week, but I just like Odegaard. Yeah, he's so brilliant, man. Him and Saka, they on the right hand side. I think there's gonna be a lot of goals and assists and link up amongst each other. So I'd like to have both of them. In terms of captaincy, I actually had planned to captain Palmer previously. I am a man who likes to plan ahead and not change because I ask myself, what's changed now? I think what's changed is because Salah is getting the points. But do I think that Man City is an easier fixture than Aston Villa? Obviously not. Maybe I am actually influenced by previous points. I don't like to be influenced, but you can't look beyond him. He's only blanked in 2 games against Crystal Palace and against Forest, and he's got 9 or more points all the games. He's had 10 goals and 6 assists. It's just brilliant, man. Yeah. XG, looking at the stats last week, he had an XGI of 1.86. Okay, there was a penalty in that. That's why the stat is hiked, but he still had 0.78, 0.53, and 0.38. He has a season XGI of 0.71, which is good. He deserves the points he got. It's not as much as Haaland. Like, I don't know how Haaland has not returned as much points as he should have in the previous weeks. But yeah, I'm going to quickly screen grab this. So I'm going to make the screen smaller once more so that I can share my team on the socials on X. It's just 2 minutes before deadline, ladies and gentlemen. I think I am locked. I want to captain Palmer, but yeah, man, at this point in time, I can't look beyond Salah. I'm gonna wait for him to disappoint because I think if Salah scores big and I don't captain him, I'll regret it more than if Palmer scores big and Salah blanks. Famous last words, but I think that's how I would feel. Cheers to the weekend, guys. Okay, yeah. 1 minute before deadline, I am locked. I am going to be streaming for at least 15 to 20 more minutes as I will be taking you through my predictions after the deadline and taking you through the teams for tonight. The fixture is Brighton versus Southampton. I think Brighton will feast on that, but the Premier League doesn't work like that. Like we thought Newcastle would beat West Ham, but that's not how it worked out. So we'll see. Yeah, I'm gonna quickly see if there are any leaks. Big news in terms of injury. Ibu Kunate for Liverpool there's just reports that he's out for about 45 weeks. So I think that's a big blow. I've said that Liverpool have been a bit lucky with injuries. Okay, I don't think you need to be a genius to know that. We all know that they've been lucky, but you still have to win your games, right? Like you need your best players. Like I always say that you need your best players in order to do well. Like, but sometimes you also need luck with the injuries. Not only with the injuries, but with how can I put it? With who gets injured. A team can get 5 injuries, right? And still not get hampered as much because the key players of the team are gone. City don't have a lot of injuries if you come to think of it, at least recently. The only players who are out is Rodri, right? And Kovacic. Those are the two pivot midfielders. It's a big, big blow for them, right? And Oscar Bob. Those are the only 3 players who are out for City. They all have their squad. People might lead you to think that they have a lot of injuries. They just have injuries to key players. Arsenal have had injuries, but they had it to Odegaard, to a key player. So that's why it's difficult for a team to play that well, especially if you miss your talisman. But yeah, it's locked in now. It's deadline, ladies and gentlemen. Game week 13. Obviously, I'm hoping that we all get our green arrows. I help you get your green arrow. I get my green arrow, and we do well in fantasy. So yeah, Friday fixture. I'm loving it. I'm gonna be watching this. Yeah, just going to be watching the game Friday night. December's closer. It means that, it's December. We can enjoy our time. Hopefully, people are going to be enjoying holidays and leave. Time to enjoy ourselves. That means there's more Premier League football. This is where you separate us, the fanatics of the game, to the casual managers. Somebody who just checks their team 5 minutes before deadline. Probably most of you like have already, if you weren't gonna be watching my show, you're gonna be or my stream, you would have missed the deadline. You see, so yeah, it's a Friday one. People normally expect the deadline to be in the morning. It's Brighton versus Southampton. How did Brighton play last week? I can remind myself. Oh yeah, they won 2-1. I never saw the game, obviously. I can't watch all the games, but I did see the highlights. I saw that João Pedro scored the first goal. He assisted the second, and then they got a red card, Baleba, for a second yellow. I don't think there was ever a yellow card, but you can't rescind cards like yellow card unless if it was a straight red. There was actually, speaking of that, coincidentally, that a red card was rescinded this weekend. We'll speak about that when we get to that particular team. So Brighton, I have been one of their biggest critics. I think I will hit humble pie there. When I watched them play United earlier in the season, I thought they were too open. They played the high line. I was like, teams are going to pick them apart, or pick them off. So yeah, I'm quite pleasantly surprised for them that they actually can defend, keep clean sheets, and yeah, they have too much quality. They have a Europa League squad playing just once a week. Like they are attacking players. Actually, yeah, there's a lot. Come to think of it, they have Minter, who's not playing, Evan Ferguson, who's not playing, Simona Dringa, who's not playing, Gruya, who's new and is not playing as well, Inciso is not playing as well. So, yeah, Solly March got injured, is an attacker as well, is not playing as well. So, they just have too much attackers, too much quality. Maybe, yeah, I was quick to judge them, but I was judging what I was seeing then. Doesn't mean that, how these teams are. They are a reason they are Brighton. They played well in the big fixtures, but can they go on and beat Southampton today? Their next fixture, can they go to Fulham and win? Can they beat Leicester next weekend? That's the consistency that these small teams lack, as opposed to much bigger teams. Then Southampton, yeah, there's a stat that was going on that they had the most goals leading they've made the most errors leading up to goals. So it was not of no surprise that Liverpool pounced on that, as we saw. Yeah, I think they actually played well. I don't know, maybe they brought Liverpool to their own level, but they were actually playing well in the first half. They got a penalty that was never a penalty. As much as I don't love Liverpool or like it, but yeah, it was never a penalty. It was outside. I just don't get it with these referees, man. Like sometimes you wish that you could be actually there. I know this work is hard, but you can't clearly see that he's outside. Like, make it make sense, guys. You can clearly see that the guy is outside. It's outside the box. It's at the initial contact. Then what are you telling us? Just because the referee gave it in normal speed, like the referee gave it, and obviously he'll give what he saw. But that doesn't mean, I know that they don't want to overrule the referee, but you cannot always not want to overrule the referee. Like, you must, what you see, you must call it. At least call the referee to the monitor. But yeah, it is what it is. Southampton got the goal. Then Liverpool scored first. Southampton scored two. But yeah, Liverpool were also going to win. I've always said that they want to play some decent football with not so decent players. Like, you kind of want to pass out the back if you don't have the players to do so. Like Ryan Bednarek, Jack Stevens, Sugwara, I think. They are good players, but they're just not that quality to pass off the back like City would do in their heyday. Hopefully, I can say in their heyday, and all the good times are done for Sete. So yeah, predictions tonight. I'll be hoping for a João Pedro goal, obviously. I'll take that, man. João Pedro, please. This is the first time I've actually ever owned João Pedro in however many years I've played fantasy, guys. This is the first time I will own João Pedro. So hopefully can just get an assist or a goal, man. I'll take that. I think Brighton will win this comfortably, but I think Southampton will get themselves a goal. So I'll say 3-1, 3-1 to the Seagulls. Then on Saturday, no early fixtures, ladies and gentlemen. You can enjoy your Saturday. Yeah, you can enjoy your Saturday. First fixture of the day, it's Brentford versus Leicester. It's actually 5 o'clock. Brentford, how did they play last week? Oh, they played Everton. Yeah. The funny stat is that Brentford have actually scored the most goals at home, I believe, from what I've read. I think they've scored the most goals. I stand to be corrected, anyone there in the chat. They've scored the most goals at home, but now they somehow are trying to play this boring at defensive football. Park the bus, like classic park the bus. They did that against Fulham. They never had any attacking threat until Harry Wilson stole the show on that Monday night, whereby Fulham scored 2 goals in the last 4 or 5 minutes. Then last week, okay, it was forced because I think Christian Nogard, was it Nogard? I think we have to make sure if it is. He actually got sent off. It was a very, 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 I wouldn't say dubious, right? But some people would give a red card, some wouldn't. I think I'm on the side that it's a red card because if that's any player, right, outfield player, and it happens in the field of play, we are going to be saying that's a red card, right? So now it's an outfield player going in for the ball, right, trying to score while the keeper's there, and yeah, he was too high. So I can see why some would say it's just a yellow on it's a 50-50 thing. But it's ironic that this happens to Jordan Pickford, who did the same to Virgil van Dijk, and he never even saw a card. You know why they say that? Because it was offside. While he snapped his knee in half. Like, yeah, you can't write these things. It's actually funny. Yeah, but the game, Brentford at home, I'm expecting them to score goals because Leicester don't even have a manager. They sacked Steve Cooper. Yeah, we did mention when we were looking at Leicester's team news earlier last week, like their players are bad, mates. They are bad. Like when I watched that game against Chelsea, 2-1 flatters them. Like Leicester City are just not there, or they were not there. Like it actually does not make sense because they had Moresca, right? Who's a different style of play, who plays a different style of play to Cooper. So it was a weird appointment. That how is it possible that they lose Moresca and they bring in a defensive coach with the players that were playing a different style to that? So now he actually did well. I think Leicester like 16th in the league with that bad style of play, right? So now they're gonna revert back and bring someone who was playing their style of play to begin with, because I think they're gonna bring in Van Nistelrooy. So yeah, we will take that because we beat them twice. Van Nistelrooy came in for us. He beat Leicester in the Carabao. He beat them in the league. He can go to them now, and he can lose to United. That's an agreement that I hope happens. I'm kidding, or maybe not. Yeah, but predictions for this one, I think there's going to be goals simply because Brentford at home. Mbumo has been disappointing ever since he was great, and the past 2-3 game weeks has been poor. But I think he comes back tomorrow. That's when I think he will be the last. This will be the last time I have him in the team. So yeah, I think I'm gonna say 3-1 to Brentford. Hopefully, all Mbumo. That will be great. Crystal Palace versus Newcastle. Um, Crystal Palace actually, from what I saw, played well. They have a big boost now. I saw that Ebaricha Eze and Edin Ketia are back. So that will be a massive boost for them, as well as Kamada. No, Kamada is actually serving the second of his third game, 3-game ban. But yeah, having Eze, their talisman, and Nketiah, their marquee signing, I think that will be good news for them because I like their defense, very good defense actually. Back three of Lacroix. They also have Nathaniel Chaloba and Magay. I like that three. I think that's Premier League strong enough. So they were just missing a lot of attackers. So now that they have those two, I back them now to at least pose a threat to their opponents in the next coming weeks. But as for the defense, Dean Henderson, I'm not expecting him to keep a clean sheet as well. Hopefully, I don't want to even say hopefully he keeps a penalty safe because there will be Isak. So I can never win unless it's Wilson or it's Gordon. Then hopefully, then yeah. What's his name? Henderson. But I'm not expecting anything from him. Newcastle as well. I have two players here. I'm only going to play Isak, or I only played Isak. Luis Suarez first bench. Yeah, I'm just going to keep him. I actually love Isak's fixtures. I loved the West Ham game. Then they have Crystal Palace obviously tomorrow. Then Liverpool, whom they're missing Kunati. So I think the fixture looks even better than it was looking before Kunati news. And then they have Brentford away, whom at home concede a whole lot of goals. Then they have Leicester, they have Ipswich and Villa. This is where I'm going to be playing my wild card. So I love the Newcastle fixtures in the next 5. I'm looking to be keeping him. Hopefully he can come through. It was going to be him or Jackson. Those are the mid-price forwards that I want to have one or the other. So he's 8.5, Jackson is 8. Hopefully tomorrow he can bang. Predictions. Newcastle, I was not too impressed with them, man. Like they had all their players, but they somehow like to play Anthony Gordon on the right. Then they have Jolinton or Willock switching around, playing on the left. It was not a very, very nice game. They played well in the first 10, 15 minutes. I thought they would run away with it. But yeah, man, the crowd was flat. After all those pre-match theatrics that happened, that went on, and they welcome Alexander the Great for them to lose that 2-0. Yeah, who's that team they call United? Who's that team they call United? Hence why it's written Newcastle. And here, Man United. It's Man United. That's the team that they call United. I just wanted to get that in because Newcastle think they like to get offended when people just call them Newcastle. There's only one United, and it's Manchester Red. You feel me? Then okay, predictions. I'm gonna say 1-1. I'm just gonna sit on the fence for this. Then I will quickly go through the team news since it is 8:45. Team news should be out. I'm gonna open my other screen, share the team news, then I'll continue with predictions before we can end the stream and enjoy our Friday night, our last weekend before December, before the mighty December comes. Another year, another December. That went fast, guys. Like, yeah, didn't that just go fast? Honestly. The team news out. Oh, yeah, man. I don't like the way Brighton names their lineup, man. Like, I was worried for a second that João Pedro ain't there. I'm gonna quickly share my screen so that you guys can see the team news as well. Like, I don't like that, man. I genuinely. But here's the team news for you guys. Pat Verbruggen in goal, Tariq Lemti, Igor Julio, João Pedro, Jorginho Rute, Danny Welbeck is a captain. Credit to Danny Welbeck, Manchester lad, Man United boy, came from our development, won the league, then injuries. We sold him to Arsenal, injuries, came to Brighton, was on the fringes, but now he's their number 9. Credit to him, man. Like, yeah, he's done a great job for his career. I'm actually happy with Danny Welbeck. Then they have Karumi Toma, Ayari, Van Herke, Estupinan, and Matt O'Reilly. He gets his first start. And on the bench, they have Steele, Dunk, Inciso, Adringa, Minte, Veifa, Ferguson, McConville. I do not know who McConville and Slater are. But on paper, this is a decent team. I'm trying to think what formation they're playing. They're going to be playing Lemty right back, Ego with Van Heck as the center half. Then at left back, they'll be playing Pelvis as Stupinian. Then in midfield, I think it will be Ayari and O'Reilly, right? Alongside João Pedro in the 10. Then on the other side, it will be Mitoma on the left, Jorginho Ruta on the right, and on the number 9 is Danny Welbeck. I think this is a very attacking team. If they don't actually watch out, Southampton can actually punish them, guys. I don't like teams who like to play a lot of attackers unnecessarily because they are playing a smaller team or a team they think they can walk over. Sometimes you just need to get the foundation, get your 2 midfielders, boss the midfield, win the game, and then you can make changes. But yeah, they've been doing well. If they win here, they will go second, I think. So who am I to be talking about Brighton Hove? I think they're doing very, very well. Then I will go and check the Southampton news. I don't think there's a lot of people out there who have Southampton players, guys. But yeah, we don't discriminate. We check for everyone here. The lineup is out. They have Lumley. I assume, yeah, a Lumley. That's probably the goalkeeper, right? Yeah, it's him. It's him, right? He's probably Lumley, right? Yeah, he's probably Lumley. Unless this is the kit that Southampton will be wearing away. Unless that's the kit that Southampton will be wearing, actually. So I do not know. You can correct me on the chat, guys. But Lumley and goal. McCarthy is on the bench. He's dropped to the bench. Wow. Yeah, but he did have a stink against Liverpool, guys. Remember, like against Liverpool, that Salah first goal. No. The less said, the better. They have Saguara, Howard Bellis, Jack Stevens, Carl Walker-Peters, and Manning. So I think they are playing a back 5. Yes, right wing back Saguara, then left wing back Manning. Then they have 3 of Howard Bellis, Jack Stevens, and Kyle Walker-Peters. Then in midfield, I think it will be Flynn Dowells and Fernandes, right? That's there are 2 midfield pivots. Then in attack behind Adam Armstrong, it will be Tyler Diblin and Archer. So yeah, I think that's a good team for them. That's as good as they can field. Who are they missing? I do not know. Then on the bench, they've obviously got McCarthy, Edwards, Wood. Then they got Bree, Fraser, Aribo, Ame, Amewu. I've never heard of the person. Hopefully, they can come through for them out of the bench and score, or from the bench, should I say. Then they've got Kamaldeen and Ben Brereton Diaz. That's Southampton's lineup, ladies and gentlemen. Then we can resume with our fixture prediction or my fixture predictions before I end the stream. Thank you very much. We've just had 35 minutes in the stream. Past, I can see there's actually very healthy numbers, 11 to 12 people watching live. I can confidently say this is one of the highest I've ever had. So if you're actually enjoying my stream, feel free to like the video. Thank you very much in advance. We shall continue, ladies and gentlemen. I shall let you free in the 10 minutes. Okay, Forest versus Ipswich. I think, yeah, Forest played Arsenal, right, last week. They have been playing well, but I have been saying that the fixtures have been in their favor, right? So they got battered by Arsenal. They couldn't, like, they didn't even have a shot on target, I believe. Like, they just had nothing for Arsenal last week. They actually didn't play Morgan Gibbs White as well as Chris Wood, who's their front two players, right? I think that was a great call. Both injury doubts coming in from international break. They know their battles. They save them for Ipswich. They know which games to win, but I was pretty disappointed with them because they went to Anfield actually, and they actually deserve to win that game at Anfield because they are very, very good counter-taking wingers or forwards in Callum Hudson-Odoi and Anthony Alanga. So I was surprised that Arsenal kept them at arm's length for the whole week, for the whole game last week. Like, they just didn't have a sniff. Arsenal were brilliant, but yeah, West Ham, Forest were a bit poor. Then Ipswich Town, they played us. To be fair, they deserved to win the football match last week. Yeah, we did things that I got happy about, but they had the bigger chances. From what I remember, they had a clear-cut chance. Onana had made an awesome save, I think, from Dilep. Two of them, two superb saves. And yeah, Onana just had those days that anything he could save. Bar that shot from Omari Hutchinson that deflected or on Mazraoui's head. I actually think, yeah, they surprised me last week, man. They played very well in there. So, of the three teams that are coming from the championship, I think Ipswich have a better chance, but they have to keep their best players fit. If they lose Omari Hutchinson or they lose Dilep and what's his name, Davis, Leaf Davis for any time, then I think they'll struggle. But tomorrow, I think Forest will just have too much for them. So I think they'll win. They have a good defense, or the stats say. So I think they'll win 2-1. Then Wolves versus Bournemouth. Yeah, last week, I didn't think Wolves would beat Fulham 4-1. I think that was actually the second best result. It is actually the second best result of last weekend because we never expected City to lose 4-0. But yeah, Mateus Cunha, guys, if you guys do not have him in your team just like me, bring him in. I just do not want to take a hit. So I had other fires to close down. So I wanted to get rid of Havertz to open up the third Arsenal spot, allowing me to bring João Pedro today. So that's why I have him. But Mateus Cunha, guys, everything he touches, he had a superb goal last week. I think it was a long ball from Lamina, who was playing centre half because they were missing two of their defenders. Craig Dawson was out with illness, as well as I think it's Santiago Bueno. So they actually played Mario Lamina at centre half. So yeah, that first touch of the chest while running into his stride and finish, He's just on that form. Then his second goal, if you haven't watched it, I just advise you guys to watch it, man. Like, it's top bins, but without any effort. Like, he just caresses it to top bins, man. Just smooth. He's, as I've said, he's having those Dembas Papi Cisse moment where everything he touches, it's gold. Like, I know I'm gonna regret it. I'll be looking at it after 2 weeks saying, why didn't I just bring him in for a hit? Just like I was regretting not bringing in Salah for a long time. But yeah, I just don't want to take hits and lose points. But yeah, I think Bournemouth are a very decent team at home, right? They beat Arsenal, they beat City, then they lost to Brighton. There's no shame in losing to Brighton last week. But away from home, they leave a lot to desire, man. They lost to, we can actually check their results and stop guessing. If I can quickly go to just a player, they lost away to Brentford, right? They drew to Aston Villa, which they could have lost. Emerson scored in the last minute, right? Then they lost to Leicester away. They lost to Liverpool away. They are just not good away from home. So if history is to go by, you would think that Wolves would win this football match. In terms of their injuries, I think they missed Ryan Christie last week, who's very, very important there. He's not a fantasy option, but in terms of the way he brings the balance to their team, I think Ryan Christie is one of their most important players. So he comes back into the team, but with one coming in, they're losing Antonio Semenyo. So if you have Semenyo, he got 5 yellow cards, yeah. If you get 5 yellow cards before game week 19, right? Or before, yeah, game week 19, or your team has played 19 games in the league, you get banned for a 1 game. Then that suspension range will be pushed to 10. So if you get 10 yellow cards before the 32nd game of the Premier League, you'll be suspended for 2. So we are there, whereby we are going approaching to game week 19 and players are on 4 yellow cards. Semenyo was one of them last week. Interesting for those other players who are popular picks. Nicholas Jackson, I think, is on 4 yellow cards. Ryan Aid-Nouri is on 4 yellow cards. So if you're looking to bring on people like that, as well as Pedro Neto from Chelsea, Lisandro Martinez from Man United has 4 yellow card as well. So those are the guys who I can think of. If you have them, that they can get any time, they can get that 5th yellow card and get suspended. But I think Wolves will be too much, or should be too much, for Bournemouth in this. So I'm gonna say it's gonna be a 2-1 game. Hopefully, finally, Cunha doesn't do anything and Strand Larsen takes all the glory. But I know we will be here on Tuesday, guys, because we have another deadline in the next couple of days. It's games after week, after games. So yeah, I love this time of year. So hopefully you as well. The content will be coming out more often because I'll be more free. Yeah, it's December, so I'm happy. I'm happy, guys. So last game of Saturday will be West Ham versus Arsenal. West Ham, man, I think they are poor, guys. Absolute poor. Even against the game, Newcastle, they were on the ropes in the first few minutes, but once Newcastle left Souček, somehow, one of the best headers on the field, empty, didn't even need to try from a set piece. Then West Ham could sit back and play on the counter. So they played this. The game stayed well. Credit to them. They beat Newcastle. But I don't see them beating Arsenal, if I'm being honest. Like last year was 6-0, right? I think it was a 6-0 game. I'm not going to be shocked if it's more of the same. Not 6-0, but of course. But I think Arsenal can score 3 or 4. It's the thing about West Ham, they have a very massive pitch. That's why they had a bad record against City. I've always taken notice of that. When they play those teams that suffocate you, and when they have the ball, they open up the pitch wider. Like they press you when you have the ball, but they open up the pitch and make it bigger. I think they will just leave Saka in acres of space, and I think Martin Odegaard can pick him off there. And yeah, he can do damage, guys. Like, credit to Saka, if I'm being honest, man. He's a brilliant player, guys. Like he's the brilliant player. Like yeah, as a winger, I like wingers who can keep the ball. Someone or the team can go forward with the team having faith in you keeping the ball, so that we can get closer to goal. I think Saka, it's just hard for him, for a defender. They double up on him. He's so good when he cuts back and he crosses it, or he shoots on the far post, or he can go on either side. He's actually improving on his right hand side, and also he's on penalties. We saw, yeah, credits to the man now, because I remember watching him against Italy in the Euro final when he missed that penalty. But now he's, yeah, emphatic, man. I can't lie. He's one of my favorite players actually in the league, man. Saka. He's just brilliant. He's one of the few players that I've had all season. Since game week 1 in my team, I've had him because he's just reliable, guys. Like, come to think of it, he's already have 8 assists, right? He has 8 assists. The record assists in the Premier League is how many? Is 20, held by Dennis Bergkamp and I think De Bruyne. So he just needs 12, and we've only played 12 games. So 12 minus 38 is 26. We have like 26 games left. So he needs 12 assists in 26 games. Even if he assists 1 assist every other game, he will still break the record. You know what I'm saying? He needs an assist every other game, even to break the record. But things don't work like that. We saw Haaland scored 10 goals and he's still on 10 goals, even a few months later. So, yeah, these things even themselves up. But with that being said, it's a ridiculous 8 assists, 4 goals. Very, very, very consistent. I'm expecting points from him tomorrow. I'll say Arsenal will win 3-0. Then I'll quickly go through the Sunday fixtures. Chelsea versus Aston Villa. Yeah. I'll start with Chelsea. I watched them play Leicester last week. It was a no contest, to be fair. Even much, if anything, it's an indictment to Chelsea that the score was 2-1 against that Leicester team, and it should have been more. They missed sitters, especially that one, as we mentioned, Palmer from 2 yards, then Madueke saved it, one of the best saves of the season. So, yeah, they should have beaten Leicester more. The only thing about Chelsea, if I'm worried, if you are a fan of Chelsea, the only thing that worries you is your defense. I think they can be got at, and the goalkeeper, man, as brilliant or as much of good saves as he's made recently, and yeah, he's made a few to keep Chelsea in the games. I don't think he finds a way. Like, a good keeper, you don't notice. You don't have to make saves. Like, I think with Sanchez, there's something that always happens. He gave away the ball. He wants to, he's always doing those. Sometimes you just need to do your job and not be noticed. That means you're doing well. So now he's always in the center of things. Yeah, for me, they need a keeper. But I think this season they can finish top 4. I've predicted them top 4. I did. But even with injuries on their side, they were just like United last year, unlucky. This year they are lucky. But you can't say they're lucky because they have 2 squads. So you can say maybe it's good work from them. Aston Villa, yeah, no, the wheels are punching now. The wheels are punching. It's taking toll playing in Europe. Yeah, I'm gonna go to Morgan Rogers and just show you their what's this? The game is locked. It locked actually. Okay, it's actually refreshed. I say, or not? It did. It locked. I don't know if I can go back. Maybe. Yeah, it's actually locked, guys. It's locked. Obviously, it locks, but my screen did refresh. So, yeah, my screen did refresh. So, how can we get fixtures? I think we can still look for fixtures here. Yeah, let's go here. I just have the Sunday fixtures to go through. Then, yeah, Okay, here we are. Here we are. Here we are. Where there's a will, there's a way. Or is there? Because it's showing me December fixtures here. Near one. Oh, here we are. Here we are. Okay. Uh, Villa, as I've said, man, like the wheels are punched, guys. Like they have not been doing well recently. Yeah, it just takes a toll, man. It takes a toll, and yeah, I think they just need to keep going because they're actually not doing that bad in Europe. But yeah, it's looking peak for them. They lost to Liverpool. They drew to Crystal Palace. I wanted to show you the results, but now I can't. It looks like I can't view them. So I just need to think from the top of my head. Predictions, I will say Chelsea should or will win 3-1 as well. Then wow, I actually haven't spoken about Man United the whole time. I haven't. Yeah. Amaran Ball. We are playing a back three, guys. Finally the guy's here. He got here he got here a week before during the a week of the international break. He didn't get the players because they were on international break. We got 2 training sessions. We played against Ipswich. There's some things that I can hold on to, but let's be fair, that lineup, most of those players, even I'm not even saying about the future squad. I'm saying even within the squad of players or he can pick from. That's not gonna be his strongest lineup. Those were the available players last week. So yeah, we had Mazraoui right centre half, we had Delit, and we had Johnny Evans. Midfield was Ericsson and Casemiro. Wing back of Dalo, left wing back Ahmad. Then a front three of Rashford, Garnacho, and Bruno. That's just not. We even saw yesterday a bit of change. I'm gonna give him time. I always do. I always back my managers. But as I've said, I'm gonna be pessimistic. I'm not gonna be any optimistic. I've been hurt so many times. It's like if you're in a relationship, man, and you being keep on hurt by girl after girl after girl after girl, and the next time you think that this bed won't hurt you, like now, sometimes you need to go into that relationship and be like, nah, I'm just gonna, see what happens. So that's me with Amaran. I like the way he speaks. I like the way, yeah, he speaks and the way he's just more charismatic than Ten Hag. I don't know if that's just translation or that's just, the culture. But I think the way he speaks, as I've said, he speaks and he's talked the talk. But now it's time for him to show us what he can do. It will take time. I don't, for now, hopefully, he can get results because our fixtures after this Everton game, we're going to be playing Arsenal next week. Then we have Forest. Then we have the Manchester Derby. Then we have our next away game after that, I think, is Liverpool away. Like we're playing Arsenal, City, and Liverpool in the space of the next month or 35 to 40 days, we would have played those three away from home. So that will tell us a lot. Injury news, we only missing Lenny Yoro, but he's also coming back soon. Harry Maguire is also coming back, Lindelof and Evans. So we're missing 4 centre half, then everybody else is fit. And yeah, the only shining person for United I want to give credit to is Mazraoui. Yeah, man, he looks the part. I just don't want to hype him up. Like I've said, I don't want to be in that United train. I just want to sit back and see, man. I have trust issues. I've lost so much trust with United. Every time there's a cycle, we get happy. We think this is gonna be it. We realize and we blind faith and support the manager while we know deep down that we're not playing well. So I don't want to go through that anymore. I'm just gonna sit back, hope that my team does well, and eventually I can fall in love with the team or the players again. They must earn my trust this time. This time they need to earn my trust. So yeah. Mazraoui though, man, actually looks a brilliant player, man. Hopefully, man, he continues this. Like, yeah, he looks like a proper player. That's all I can say. Everton, they're very blunt. They drew 0-0 to West Ham, and they drew 0-0 to Brentford. Even after Brentford got a yellow card, a red card after 40 minutes. Yeah, I think it's looking peak for Sean Dyche because after their takeover situation, and remember that this is the last time they're playing at Goodison Park. This is their last year. Even Everton Football Club have a stadium ahead of Man United. It just shows you how far back Man United have been stripped by the Glazers. But yeah, hopefully Ineos can fix that. Predictions, I just say 2-1, man. Hopefully United come on 2-1. Spurs Fulham, it's the history of the Tottenham, right? It is the history of the cockerel on the ball. They have actually changed their emblem and they've removed the Tottenham Hotspur. It's the history of the Tottenham. They lose to Ipswich and they batter Man City, guys. They absolutely put them to the sword. Like, yeah, they came to Manchester and they did their thing. It's how they play. I would rather have a manager like that, rather get spanked 4-0 and win the other week, but stays true to your principle, man. I think they bettered City. From what I could observe, right? City with Haaland, they've always played in a way like they are short of one person because Haaland can't press as hard or as vigorous as like Solanke or yeah, like continuous. You see, so he picks his moment. So City like to press high. They like to push high, but when they are playing high, they don't press. They're just like there. So they're easy to play through. Like just one ball. If they do that against Liverpool, they're gonna get absolutely dominated with just one ball. Just one ball from Van Dijk to Salah or something like that. Because they all go pushing up, but they're not pressing. Bernardo Silva is doing a Bruno Fernandes where he presses by himself. It does not help if you do that. They look all over the place. But yeah, this is not City preview. I'll speak about them on the next fixture. Spurs, yeah, the credit to them, man. They did play, I think they played Papametasa and Besuma in the pivot. And Kulusevski, guys, yeah, shout out Kulusevski. I can say he's probably top 5 players this season. He's been brilliant, guys. Like in terms, I'm not talking about FPL. In terms of he's just playing this. He's one of these best football. Yeah, he's playing brilliant, man, and that's why Spurs are doing well and they have the best attacking data, or should I say? Then Fulham, yeah, Fulham, man, they are very unpredictable. I think I like their players, as I've said, man. Like they have good players in Iwobi, Rhys Nelson, Emil Smith Rowe, Raul Jimenez. Those are actually good players, right? But they are not consistent. And they lost 4-1 to Wolves. That's not good. I know that they had already made their 5 complements of substitutions and when Joachim Anderson left the pitch. But come on, like losing 4-1 at home, it's very doesn't look good. So I'm thinking Spurs. You know how Spurs are. I'm actually gonna say 2-1 Fulham. Let me not just follow the odds. Like I think Fulham will beat Spurs 2-1. It's just the history of the Tottenham. It's just the history of that club. Then Liverpool, Man City. It's peak for me because if Liverpool win the league, they're on 20 titles. That 20 time Man United song is dead in the water. The biggest club in England, like you can argue, Liverpool would have had 20 titles as well. They got 3 more Champions League than us. So they cannot win this league, man. As much as I don't want City to win it, I'd rather City win the 5th. Like we cannot have Liverpool winning it. Like we just cannot. If anything, yeah, Arsenal, come on, man. Arsenal have to win this, man. Like come on. Like the funny thing is, Arsenal is my friends are Arsenal, most of them, and it's more personal to me. But I'd rather them win it than these other 2 men, honestly, at this point. In terms of the game, yeah, I never watched the Real Madrid game because I actually thought it would be what it was. Liverpool are playing well. They're actually now very controlled under Slot. Big compliments to them. Like he's taken the same team and he's just made them very controlled and yeah. But as I've said, injuries they've been lucky. They haven't had big injuries in their team. Now Ibu Kunate is out. This is where we'll see. He's out until possibly January. So now let's see. There's like 8 or 9 game weeks. Let's see if they will play the same level without with Gerald Kwanzaa or with Joe Gomez. Like, let's see, because Arsenal have lost Odegaard. They went down. Sete, they lost Rodri. Look where they are now. Liverpool, Kunate. He's not Salah. If they lose Salah or Van Dijk for any spell, it can look peak. But I think Kunate is as important. Him and Gravenberch as well. I think those two outside Salah and Van Dijk. So we'll see. We'll see. This game, I can't predict it, man. It can be anything. Man City can score goals, guys. Like, they've missed opportunities. Not like they don't get opportunities. Those that own Haaland have been very unlucky. But Liverpool, if City give them the space I was talking about, I think it can be a long day, man. So my prediction, I'll say 3-1 Liverpool. Yeah, 3-1 Liverpool, guys. That's it for the predictions. That's it for the stream, ladies and gentlemen. That is me. We've just passed an hour while streaming, so it's 58 minutes. No, it's an hour actually. So yeah, thank you very much. If you've enjoyed my content, I've had a very high numbers today. I'm very, very appreciative to anyone who's watching. I love you long time. If you're enjoying my content, want to see me do more, I'm still going to do it either way. But I would appreciate it if you just give me a thumbs up. Does not take a time. Thumbs up, bottom right hand corner. Subscribe, just so we can have more people watching. Don't be selfish, Don't be the only one watching. Let other people join, We are here for everyone. It's going to be enjoyable December. I'll be, hopefully, I said this before, but hopefully I'll be taking out more content because it's December. I'll be free, and yeah, hopefully enjoy my content, guys. I just love to speak sports, football, So yeah, it is what it is. In terms of the leagues, I'll quickly go through the leagues and shout out a few people there, because I was number 1 for the first 8 weeks. So let's not make it look like I only show the league when I'm number 1. I have faith that I'll come up there as well. I'm 13 points behind Ryan Poli, who's number 1. Shout out to Ryan Poli, Liverpool supporter, and Liverpool have done well recently. So he has 3 Liverpool. He's captain Salah for all his points. He has Gakpo, Luis Diaz, James Maddison, and Pedro Porro. Wow. Jeez. I don't know if this is luck or this is planned. But if you thought that Maddison and Porro were good picks against Man City, ahead of Havertz and Martinelli, who were actually at home to Forest, yeah, if you actually thought that, no, then big up to you. Like, this is actually a different squad. You come to think of it. No Arsenal, no Saka, no Palmer, no Haaland. But yeah, it shows that you can play it your own way, guys. He's 600K in the world. I'll just shout out the top 5. Number 2, Box FC. Man like Kulu Machamba. Yeah, I hope I didn't butcher the name. 56 points is number 2. He's got Sanchez, Fadiol, Ed Nouri, Lewis Hall. Then we got Mbumo, Fernandez, Rogers, Salah captain. His attack, he's got actually Chris Wood, Vesa, and João Cunha, Mateus Cunha. Nice. Like, people's teams are actually different. I like it. I love it. Then they got Gift. Gift is number 80 points. 80 points. Jeez. That's a good score. Onana, Mikalenko, Pedro Porro, Ed Nouri, Saka, Fernandez, Rogers, Johnson, Cunha, Jackson, Haaland. Wow. You see, you don't need to have Salah to do well. He captain Haaland and still got 80 points. Jeez. Nah, big up, man. Big up. 80 points. Oh, jeez. Without Salah, then that's me. Then I'll just give Sohail Mohammed. He got 76 points last week. I think Pedro Porro came big for people, actually. Come to think of it. Flecken, 9 points. First clean sheet of the season. Pedro Porro whooping a goal and a clean sheet. Okay, invite 5-0 Mazraoui, Saliba with a clean sheet, Salah. Then you got Raul, Haaland up front with that midfield of Suchek. Nah, man, that's not a good pick. I can't lie. I know you get the points and you bench Mbumo. Jeez. Nah, people are getting lucky with these picks. How many times, if you look at Suchek's points, let's look at them. Like, he's got 3 goals and 1 assist. Actually, more than I thought. He got a goal at game 2 and 6. Then he got 2-2-1-1-0-3, then 10. Yeah, that's why you don't pick defensive midfielders. But yeah, you see, he's ahead of me even. So play your own way. Then lastly, I'll give Sir Alex a shout. Man got 55 minus 4 points. Jeez. Played a wild card not so long ago. Then minus points already. Fabianski 6. That was a good pick on wild card actually. Gabriel Gvardiol has been poor. Mazraoui, Rogers, Salah, Palmer, Garnacho, Strand Larsen, Raul, and Haaland. Okay, he has Haaland, Palmer, and Salah. So I have Saka. That's where it differentiates. But yeah, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. I'm gonna leave it here, man. Yeah, let's go watch some games. We go enjoy some dinner, then I can watch some game and yeah, enjoy my weekend as well. I hope you all enjoy my content and yeah, goodbye for now. Peace.